Hello there, all you wonderful, beautiful ladies and gentlemen of the internet. It's your boy, your boy here, Hazuki Warrior 921, bringing you a new video on a video game trilogy or a series from Nintendo that I am very fond of, that I love with all my heart. That is my favorite series to come off Nintendo, and I really hope to see more of soon. And I think this is going to be my 6th episode. I think I'm on 6 of Where to Start. Originally, I was going to do an episode on Sonic the Hedgehog, Yakuza, and Shenmue. I'll get to Shenmue. The thing about Shenmue is that there isn't much Shenmue content out there yet to really make a video kind of like this format of like where's a good place to start. It's kind of easy with Shenmue, but it's like either start with the anime or the first game. But this is not about Sega, so I'm getting a little sidetracked. But originally, if you can see my shirt, it's a dead giveaway what I'm going to talk about. If the title wasn't ready, but originally I was going to talk about Yakuza next, and I will get to Yakuza. I love Yakuza, but this is a series that's really near and dear to my heart that I should have talked about sooner. I might say this for the 8th episode because of a theme throughout these games. But I might make it my 7th episode. I don't know which one this is going to be. I don't know, but I will get this video made and finished as soon as I can for this series. Anyways, that series is Earthbound, or Mother. And I don't just have the first 2 games. Of course not. No, I have all 3 of them right here. I love these games. And they're 3 of my favorite games ever made. My second favorite game of all time. This is my second favorite franchise next to Shenmue. Shenmue is my favorite gaming series of all time. But Mother or Earthbound is like my number 1 favorite Nintendo series. And I think it's kind of unfair to say this because I can't. Earthbound, this one, for the longest time, was my second favorite game ever made after I finished it. Just the experience I have of this game. It's not really a game. Like, all 3 of these games feel like they all belong together in the same kind of, like, home, in the same kind of, like, spot. It's just kind of tough to separate them, which one you might objectively like more. Within a gameplay perspective, it's debatable between Mother 2 and Mother 3, Earthbound and Mother 3. Which one is like, technically like better, because Mother 2 does do some things that are a little bit like convoluted, but still a good game. In Mother 3, it's a little bit like simple, like easier in gameplay at times, but not really. It's still like really well designed. So it's kind of tough to be like whichever one is your preference between these 2. Mother 1 here is a really kind of difficult kick your ass kind of game. But even so, oh man, my box got a little scratched. Oh well. Even so, this game is incredible. And this is my favorite game on the NES, on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And this is also Shigeru Miyamoto, the father of Mario, the creator of the Super Mario series. This is his favorite NES game, Mother 1. He stated that before in an interview. And to me, I've played Zelda 1. I've played Castlevania, I've played Super Mario Brothers. I've never played the first Final Fantasy though, so sorry on the NES. But I've played some of the NES greatest games ever made, and to me, this without a mind's doubt is the best game on the NES. No joke, at least to me. I think all 3 of these games are the best games for their respective platforms. Freaking-tively. Nothing against the beautiful library of the Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance. The Super Nintendo was a very strong console. People will be coming at you for what the best game ever is. But to be fair, if you disagree that Earthbound is the best game on the Super Nintendo, the Earthbound fans will be coming at you too. Like me. Like, I'm just saying, like, this game is it's like saying Shenmue is not the best game on the Dreamcast, or Ocarina of Time is not the best game on the N64. It's like, but they just are. Like, okay, well, they are, but really, it's your opinion. Whatever you believe is the best, that's okay. It's okay if you think Earthbound's getting a little overrated. God forbid, because it isn't. It's okay for you to think that that Shenmue might be a little overrated too. But the thing about these two gaming series, Shenmue and Earthbound, is that they're games that are super easy to like relate to and understand and enjoy and be like, wow, this is quite a journey. That's why they're two of my favorite games of all time, series, and why they're so similar. So the similarities between them is that they're both very human games. They're both games with a protagonist that takes place in a modern setting that you can easily relate with, and they get kind of emotional with some themes. Mother gets more so emotional than Shenmue does, but Shenmue does get emotional at times. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying. But it's more so, and it's also focused on like Asian culture, and this is more so focused on like Western culture, and they have vastly different gameplay mechanics, vastly different for sure. But at the end of the day, I feel like the journeys are somewhat similar. And being a fan of both franchises, that's just kind of how I see them. But I really just want to talk about Mother, because that's what this is about. And this was my first game in the series. This is not an original copy. It is a reproduction cartridge, in case if you're wondering. But I do own the game legally. I own all the games legally, with, of course, the exception being Mother 3, because Nintendo of America, at least, doesn't really seem to mind what you do with Mother 3. And we'll talk about that later. It's not quite what you might think. From other fans. At least I don't think so. I will talk about that topic later, what I think is my opinions and whatnot. But right now, I really want to talk about. Oh, sorry, aside. I really want to talk about this series, just with Mother 1, and how you, the viewer, should start. Okay, let's talk about the games. First of all, this might sound really, really strange to you guys. This one right here, I've been playing through Mother 3 for the first time. I'm now on Chapter 7 in the game. I'm near the end of Chapter 7. If you play the game through, and you might not remember where that is in the game, just look it up, because I do not want to spoil anything about this game. But this game is beautiful. It is a beautiful, amazing, just... I've played a lot of games that have touched my soul in different ways, in emotional ways. But this takes it to a whole... The thing about Mother is that it is tough to like really explain to you why this is what it is. It's again like Shenmue. It's just something you have to experience for yourself with its beauty. Because I can sit here and tell you all day long how I feel about it. I feel an emotional attachment towards Mother. I feel that this game is beautiful. I feel that this game is wonderful. I feel like this is definitely the best game on Game Boy Advance. I feel like this is something special. I feel like this is more than just a story. It's more than just a game. It is quite an experience. It's an experience. All three of these games are an experience. Yes, even the difficult, hardcore Mother 1. They're more than just a game. But even with that, it's like you just need to see it for yourself. I have seen some amazing things in some of my favorite games ever made. And Shenmue, it's over there, will always be my favorite gaming series of all time. Shenmue will forever be my favorite game. 1, 2, 3, and 4 onward. Because to me, Shenmue isn't like it's like separate games. It's one continuous game throughout each entry. It's just a game being released at separate like $60 or so titles. Because it couldn't convey what Yu Suzuki wanted to do as like one story, as like one adventure. To me, for Mother though, each game has different protagonists, but they all take place in the same timeline. This game takes place in the far-off future from Mother 1 and 2. But it is connected deeply to those games. And I do see them all as like my favorite game of all time next to Shenmue. But when it comes to a game a video game that I think I love more than any video game on this planet, that's a single entry, like that I see like by itself, it might be this one. I will always love Shenmue. I love the first one the most maybe, but I just love it as an entire experience. But when you have like a game that was designed to be like that was designed with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and like most video game stories do that with one game, it has to be out of 3 for me. I think so. I honestly did not expect to love this game as much as I do. And I will tell you this right now, that has been true for me for all 3 games. I didn't go into Earthbound expecting to love it, but I knew it had a lot of love and like passion and rage. You know, when people are like, oh, you gotta play this game, you know, for it. All 3 of these games do. Mother 3 was no exception. I knew the love and passion behind this game. I beat Earthbound 7 or so years ago on my Wii U for the first time. And after that, I was like, that was amazing. Wow. I just was so in love with Earthbound that I didn't really mind seeing anything else beyond it. Like, I was okay with, which may sound weird to some people out there, but I didn't mind playing it again and again or just again for it was just like an experience I felt satisfied with. I was like, that was good. That was all I needed after Earthbound was done. Mother 2. But then some 2 old friends of mine, who are not my friends anymore, really, but one of them specifically loved this game to death. She kept on, like, pushing me to play it. Her name was, I mentioned her in my PlayStation video. I don't know if I want to say her name, but she kept on pushing me to play Mother 3. I never really got around to it. Then we had a falling out. It's whatever. Obviously, but years later, I finally got around to playing this game. I've been meaning to play this game for a very long time now. I really wanted to start this game when my second daughter, River, was born. Shortly after she was born, I did start this game again on my phone, but then I was like, I don't want to play it this way. And then I put the game on my Wii U. And I was like, sorry Nintendo, I know. We'll talk about that later. But I did. I put the game on my Wii U, and I was like, okay, well, I want to play it that way. So I tried to, and I loved it. But then, because it's how I played Earthbound for the first time. That's, you know, I played my Wii U. And Earthbound Beginnings, but then I bought this, and I was like, you know, I really want to play these games on the original hardware. And I really want to play Earthbound for the first time on the Super Nintendo. So I played through this game first, finished it, and then I played through this game again, and I fell in love with Mother 1, and then I'm finally here with Mother 3. And yeah, this game is amazing. It really is. But I don't think you should start with it. Because, as most things in life, you should always save the best for last. To say the least. You really should. And I'm not saying Mother 1 is like a terrible game, but it kind of is the worst, I guess, in its series. It's really hard to like... It kind of is deniably the worst, because this game will be frustrating for you. It will be hard to get through. This is a very grindy RPG, but really it's just the beginning of the game. The whole game isn't really much. It is a bit of a grind fest, but if you grind in just the beginning area of the game, it might take you like 2 weeks at the most, an hour a day maybe to like, or you know, it depends how much time you put into it, but. Maybe just a week, actually. That might be a little exaggerated. Okay, fine. It'll just take you a week at the most, I think. About hours, like 7 hours or so in total, to finally get to a good point. Roughly, maybe like half of that, actually. To finally get to a good point, to be like, okay, I can finally play the story. I think you have to be like at least at like level 20 to like really like get going, and you need a guide. This is a guide game. Most Nintendo games are. Most NES 8-bit NES games are guide games. This is no exception to that. You need a guide for this game. You do. However, you need a guide for Earthbound too. Surprisingly a little bit. I know, right? And it's a late Super Nintendo game too. I know. But this game did come with a guide. Here in the States it did. It did. Too bad it's super expensive now, but thankfully Nintendo did you guys a solid and put these games on the Switch recently. And I do believe that Earthbound does have its guide. I mean, that was basically its instruction manual. So I know for the Wii U version of the game, it did have its guide. I think when you went to it, I don't know if it was like the original guide, but it did have a guide for you. But just go to starman.net or .wiki, whatever it is, or Starman. That's the Starman website, has guides for all 3 games, obviously. So yeah, Mother's amazing. It is. And if you want to look at my shirt again really quick, I have the main characters of Mother 2 or Earthbound. Ness, Paula, Jeff, and Pooh. That's his name, yes. I know, but yeah, yep. And I will always love these children. Well, these characters, because of their adventure, their journey, just, damn. It's just an experience. It really is. There's this great video out there on YouTube called "Why Every Adult Should Play Earthbound." I think I've seen I don't remember if I finished the video or not. I really should have, but there's a ton of great videos about the series out there on YouTube. And really, I remember reading that statement, and I was like, that's so true, because Mother isn't really a series that kids should play. A kid could play this. But it tackles very deep emotional themes that a child they're just not going to 100% grasp, unless if they have a very unique childhood, then maybe. But for the most part, this series should be enjoyed by just somebody with a very okay, maybe a child could enjoy these. Actually, that's not fully untrue, but really these games are made for people with a very empathetic mind or sympathetic mind, or empathetic. Somebody out there who can really understand, emotional. Yeah, most human beings can. So, I do believe this is a series that everybody in the world should try at least once. It's one of those games. At least maybe Mother 3. I know you really shouldn't start with this one, but it's the easiest one to get into. Gameplay wise, it is. But you might spoil yourself if you start with this one first. I think you should wait to finish it off with this one. Not just because of its gameplay. It kind of has the best story too. Honestly, this game is making me more emotional than I thought it would. I'm only at the halfway point or so in this game, and now I'm already getting pretty emotional with it. I'm like, oh my god, I think I teared up a number of times already while playing this game. But not super. I wasn't going, I just kind of sat there and tears just started coming out of my eyes. It was like that. And when I listen to the main theme song of this game, it gets to me. It really gets to me. It's really deep. It hits me deep. It's a game that you just have to know. I don't want to spoil it. I really don't want to spoil it. But you will find out for yourself why this game is so damn important. Just play it. And I want to talk about the whole Nintendo problem with it, Nintendo of America problem with it later, which isn't really a problem on their end too much, but it's kind of understandable. But we'll talk about that later. So, okay, for right now, these 2 games are easy to access, which is great. They forever, hopefully, will be. Nintendo seems to be okay with re-releasing these games over and over again, and thank you, Nintendo. Thank you so much for actually releasing these games. In fact, I think this game was locked only on the Wii U for the longest time, and they finally brought it to Switch again. I don't think it's on the 3DS. Is it? Is this game on the new 3DS? I can't remember. It might be, but that eShop's closing down soon. I forgot about fork. I forgot about the Nintendo eShop closing down the Wii U 3DS. That's really recent news. So buy a Switch and you can get these games right away, but thankfully. But if you don't have a Switch, if you have a Wii U and 3DS, get these games as soon as you can if you want to play them. Or, and I really kind of hate bringing this up. This is a very touchy subject. You could play these games on a PC or phone via emulation, and I know Nintendo's not gonna like that because they've been supporting these games a lot recently. I say if you are itching to play these games and you don't own a Nintendo Switch yet, I would say think about it at least, but really just get out of your way to buy a Nintendo system and play these games the right way, the legal way. Because like it's to me, it's like, okay, if you want to play it that way, that's your decision. That's whatever. But it's just way more satisfying and more wholesome and more heart fulfilling, in my opinion, to play these on like actual Nintendo hardware, rather than something emulated device. But yeah, like that is up to you. That's up to you though. Like I said. So, moving on. Okay, now the game that I think you should start with first. The first Mother game I think you should play is not Earthbound Beginnings either. You could start with this one because it is the very beginning, but I feel like this should either be your second or third one. I know, it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's such a weird brain twister. Why would you say that, Daniel or Tazuki? Warrior, why are you saying that, bro? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Because I'll explain to you why in a moment. There's a few reasons why. One, but this is mostly if you're from here, North America. If you're from this country, if you're not from Japan, if you're from North America, or even like England or something, I would not start with this game first, because we got this game first here. Really, we should have gotten this game first. It was about to get released on the NES, Nintendo, you dodo heads, but then they pulled the plug right when it was. Yeah, I'm not kidding. But instead, we got this game. But it's not just about us getting this game first either. Even if we did get this game first, I still feel like you should start with this one, because it's like right in the middle. No pun intended, but it is. It's designed so ironically to what I'm trying to tell you. It's the second game in the series. Is that? Oh wait, I think I'm doing it backwards on your end. Am I? Is that backwards to you guys? It might have been backwards this whole time. This is my left. So it might be backwards. I don't know. But anyways, with that being said, it's not just because it's like the middle child in the series or anything like that. Yes, it's the second one, but again, each game is like its own adventure. It takes place all in the same timeline, but you play as like a new character each game. There are theories that Ness and Nintendo, the two protagonists of Mother 1 and Mother 2, are related. Now, it's never been confirmed. We don't know how they're related. I don't think Nintendo is Ness's father, though, because the games are only like about roughly 10 to 15 years apart from each other. And Ness is a 10-year-old boy, I think, when the game starts. Yeah, and so is Nintendo. So it's like, do the math. Like, he would have to have Ness like right then and there, pretty much, which is like, what? No, like that's not gonna. No. Well, you can see the game starts in the 1980s. He's 10. Okay, so each game takes place in 1980X or 1990X. These two games do. Alright, so let's say Earthbound, or Mother 1, Earthbound Beginnings, takes place in 1980, Nintendo's 10. We fast forward 10 years later, 1990, he's 20. He's old enough to have a father, but not quite, but old enough with Anna, maybe. And then Ness is born, so he's born in 1990, by 2000 he'd be 10. But to me, I feel like this game takes place in 1995. And Mother 1 I feel like Mother 1 takes place in roughly 1980, between 80 and 85. And I think Mother 2 here strictly takes place in 1995, not just because it was like released in North America, but just kind of has that feel, or at least 1996 or 5. It just kind of, or even 4, but that's just how I feel. Like, it kind of feels like it takes place like just like right there. So, like, it just, to me, it does. I just don't think so. I do believe they could be related, though. Like, maybe they're cousins, maybe they're brothers. Maybe Nintendo is his brother, and he's in college now, and his mom and dad got busy and they have more kids, and Nintendo has 2 new sisters, or I think he only has one little sister. because Nintendo has 2 sisters, so that would mean they have like 5 kids in total. So Nintendo and his sisters could be like, too old and they're off doing their own thing. They don't live at home anymore. Or Ness and Nintendo could be brothers, and he's just a much older brother. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. Or they're cousins, or maybe they're not related at all, and that's fine too. Whatever. They just look very similar in like character design. And so does Lucas. So it's kind of weird to think like that they're not related by blood, but they probably aren't. Shigesato Itoi, the creator of these games, never said that. I mean, we gotta talk about that beautiful man. Shigesato Itoi is a genius. You can't talk about Mother without bringing up Shigesato Itoi. You can't talk about Shenmue without bringing up Yu Suzuki. You just can't do it. He created the series, and he's a very talented man. He's very, very talented. He's like one of those few individuals that's born with like a very like multi-talented brain. Like he can do music, he can do acting, he can do like storytelling. I think he can even draw. Can he draw? I don't know, but Shigesato Itoi is multi-talented. He can do a lot of different things. He voiced the father. I know for a fact. This is a little This is a little weird fun fact about him. But he voiced the father in the Studio Ghibli animated film My Neighbor Totoro. Yeah, he's a dad. So there you go. I know it's fun, but whatever. And also he did the music, the main theme songs for each of these games, and they are a huge deal to them on the series. This is turning more into a game review. I know. I'm sorry, a little bit. I know, but I just kind of realized that. But yeah, he did. He did the music for the 8 Melodies, which got so popular apparently that even Japanese schools sing it. I didn't know that. I found out that the 8 Melodies is a big deal over in Japan a little bit. Like elementary schools sing this song. That's incredible how far it got in Japan. I know the series is much more beloved and fond of and like memorable in Japan than it is here. I don't know if it's like super popular, but it's known. Like Nintendo keeps releasing Mario 1, 2, and 3 over and over and over again over in Japan. Ever since they released it on the Game Boy Advance, they haven't stopped. They re-released it. I think did they re-release it on the Wii Virtual Console? I don't know, but they did re-release it on the Wii U's. All 3 games on the Wii U. They re-released them on the Game Boy Advance. And Shigeru Miyamoto and Shigesato Itoi keep talking about the games over in Japan. Like I'm just saying, like Mother is definitely more fondly remembered, I think, over in the Land of the East than it is here in the Land of the West, and for good reason. It is a good series. So yeah. So now back to Mario 2. It's the reason. Okay, so reasons why I think you should start with Mario 2 or Earthbound is because its gameplay is like perfectly right in the middle between Mother 1 and Mother 2 and Mother 3. Sorry, and it's the second game I know, but it's designed that way, and it's kind of like I think this is debatably the longest one too, but it just has an adventure that you'll never forget. It's not and it takes place like closer to like modern civilization. It's not too far behind in the 80s. Versus this game, it's like takes place in the 90s, and which is an era I kind of grew up in, so people in my generation should definitely play this game, and it's kind of like just a genuinely beautiful game made for the Super Nintendo, a definitely memorable one, and I don't know, man, there's just a lot to it that you should really start with this one. Like I said, if you don't mind the grind in this game, go ahead and play it. It is a fantastic game to start with. You can start with either one, honestly. You really could start with either one. You really, really could. There's no wrong answer. It doesn't matter. Either one is okay. But I promise you, dear viewer, if you fall in love with this game after, which is not going to happen, which will happen before you beat it. I promise you will love this game before you beat it. If you go into it and you kind of, because let me tell you right now my personal experience with these games. Right now. The machine that I played Earthbound for the first time on is none other than the Wii U. This is a Wii U, yes. Can you tell? I don't know if you can tell, but this is my Wii U. This is the first machine I've ever played Mother on. The Wii U. Back in 2015. Because my friends were raging about it. So I played Earthbound, I was like, okay, I really like this game. And then I got to, right at the beginning, at the end of the first quarter of the game, or a third or so. It was right before I think I rescued Paula, or right after I did. Right around that point in the game, right after Tucson, which is not rough. This is roughly in the beginning. There's this part of the game we had to go through this valley, and there's like a ton of enemies like kicking your ass. And I was like, I do not like this game. This is bullcrap. I can see why this game is underrated on the Super Nintendo. I can see why people didn't like this game. I can see why this game is like got this kind of shit. And then I took a break. I talked to my friends. I did some research, and people were like, you gotta keep playing it. Just get through it, and I promise you, you're gonna like it. So I did. And I did. And not only did I like it, I fell in love with this game. It's so simple, but like so well told and just delivered and just made. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm telling you, I've played a lot of Zelda games. I've played a lot of Mario games. I've played a lot of Metroid games. I haven't beaten them all yet, though. But I have played a lot of them. I have played a lot of Donkey Kong games. I've played a lot of Halo games. I love Halo. I played a lot of I've played mostly all the Metal Gear Solid games, one of my favorite series of all time. All the Yakuza, most of the Yakuza games, or at least okay. I played a lot of games. Okay, I played a lot of great games with great stories. I played Uncharted. I played all these great video games that exist. Assassin's Creed, and I'm just looking over there at what I have. I've played Katamari Damacy. I've played just some great games and some really good RPGs too. But it's not just about the gameplay part. For when it comes to Mother, all those games have really good, well-told, beautifully made stories. They do. No disrespect to any of those titles. But there's just something about Mother that just does it so right, that touches your soul. It will make you feel like a child again. It may not make you remember your childhood. It may not remember, if you had like kind of like a rough childhood, and maybe you don't remember yourself as a child, maybe you're like, oh man, I sucked as a kid, yucky, or something like that. But this game will still make you feel innocent inside. It'll make you feel like, wow, it just really touches my soul. That's how this game will make you feel. That's the best I can honestly describe them. And again, really believe that there's no wrong answer, and this is debatably the first machine you should get to play these games on. This was the first console that Mother or Earthbound got re-released on, and this is the first console that Mother 1 got released on here officially, and that is a huge deal. Earthbound Beginnings, that was a huge deal back then. And of course, what happened after that? We all expected Mother 3. Did it happen? No. But I think there's kind of a good reason in Nintendo America's defense. I'm not saying the game should never happen. No, fuck no, far from it. I think Nintendo should release it. But I know it may not look like much, but I kid you not, this game should debatably be rated M for mature. But not in the ways that you might think. I know, isn't that weird? Yeah, it stars a child as a protagonist. Why should this game get a mature rating? It's not a horror game. It's not a shooter. It doesn't have to be. It has some very adult topics and themes that I'm telling, but it's not like. It's not what you might quite think it is. It's not like immature though. It's very like understandable, and it will touch your soul. It's just very grown up. It's just a very grown up type of game. It could be rated T for teen, but I don't think teenagers would really understand it. Maybe, I mean, if I play this game, if I play this game in my teenage years in high school or so, I don't think I would like it as much. Honestly, no. Compared to now. But if I played Earthbound, I think is a game that can be played by a kid, a teenager, an adult, everybody. This is a game that can be played by like anybody, and they'll just get it. They'll just enjoy. I think so. Kids may not get it the same way as like a teenager or an adult will, but people will understand this game like right away. Its emotion, its beauty, just things about it. I think you should at least be 10 years old before you play this game. At least 10 years old. At least that's what I believe. And I kind of believe, honestly, the same thing for this one. But for Mother 3, I don't think you should at least be 18 years old. I think you should be more like 20, 21, 20. I think you should be in your early 20s at least before you play Mother 3. I know that sounds ridiculous maybe, but to truly understand and appreciate what this game is, and what it tries to do. I think your age and your experience in life and your growth and maturity as a human being really plays a huge effect into how you're going to feel about this title. Honestly, it tackles some pretty deep, dark shit and some wonderful, beautiful topics, and whatnot. And it really does. It really does. And I really wish I could tell you more about these games, but I feel like I've said enough. And yeah, this video, I know usually in these videos I get more into the storyline. I kind of did, but I didn't really explain, like, oh, who are the villains, who are the heroes, what happens. Like, well, a lot happens, and the villains are like, they're not quite what you might expect. They're more like tragic characters. They really are. It's like, oh man, especially the villain Gygus in the first game, man. Oh my god. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. I don't know if I've ever said this before in any of my videos, but I feel like I might have mentioned this at least once before. Mother 2, Earthbound, has my favorite video game final boss of all time. It is such an amazing presentation. You're not fighting like a body. You're not fighting like a physical being. You're fighting a fucking entity. You're fighting darkness itself. You're fighting literally the force of evil. Is the final boss in this game. I am not joking. It's basically what it is. It's a creature that basically ascends to becoming that, or technically descends, because But it's insane. But the themes behind this ending is really fucked up and dark. I'm not the first man to say that. Johnny the Happy Cons Gamer, my boy. Big shout out to you, Johnny Millennium. But he made a video about this game when it turned 20 or so. And I think his video really helped me. No, I think I saw his video after I finished the game. Yeah, I think he made his video shortly after I finished it. But I remember I felt legitimately freaked out and kind of scared when I got to the end of this game. In fact, I actually wrapped myself up in a blanket for like security. I know that sounds dumb, but it's true. And this is not even a horror game or anything like that. And this is gonna sound kind of corny. I had my friends with me, and we were like, they were there. They were like, "Come on, man!" They're like, "You can do this, Daniel." They were excited for me. And your friends were in the game too, by your side. It was just a very beautiful experience. Sadly, those people aren't my friends anymore. They just really weren't for me. So whatever. But still though, I can never forget that moment in time specifically, because that is how it happened. So yeah, Mother 2, this game is beautiful, and I think you should play it. I think anybody out there watching this video should definitely check this game out. Definitely. I can almost promise you most people watching this video are fans of Mother already. They play these games. But if you're a newcomer and you happen to come across this video, for one, thank you so much, and two, I hope this video helps you in some way to feel more inspired to play these games. If you're like me and you're like, I don't really want to play this game, I'm stuck, I promise you, just keep going through the grind. Eventually Ness, Nintendo, Lucas, whoever, your main protagonist character, your characters will get strong enough to keep going, and then you'll be fine after that. I promise you, it'll be fine. You could just get to level 99 in each of these games in the very beginning parts. That is a pain in the butt to do. Like, you can do that with any RPG, really. So, the Wii U is a great place to start, but there is one catch, isn't there? This game did not get released here in the United States. This game is hard to find to play. Okay. I think now might be a good time to finally talk about this. As you obviously know, Mother 3 did not get released officially here to the United States of America. This was fan translated by a team of people who have repeatedly asked and Nintendo was full aware of this game's existence, of this project. Nintendo of America was 110% aware of this project happening. The team behind Mother 3 has constantly asked Nintendo to please release this game officially. Please, we are working on this game. We can stop the project at any time. And they have even offered to give them their own translation. Like, here you go, here it is, we did the work for you. But Nintendo still hasn't officially released this game. And I kind of know exactly why. If you've played Mother 3, it's kind of right there in the game. There's a lot of content in this game they would have to change. That's debatable though. And I understand if they release this game, it would cause a lot of controversy to the company. But then when you think about it, it's like Nintendo of Japan did it. And I know Japan is a completely different country with different views on different things. But they did do it. They made this game in Shigesato Itoi's image. With controversial characters and themes and stuff that probably shouldn't have happened from a company like Nintendo in the video game, but I'm telling you, they should release this game, maybe make it M for mature and not really change much. I think they can do it. I don't know. Come to think of it, it is kind of weird that they're not just doing it, because I know games like Ocarina of Time and like even Mother 2, Earthbound, that got released here have like dark shit and weird topics, and like Zelda has like strange, unique characters here and there, and so does like Mario. So like I don't get why this game is such a big no-no to Nintendo. Actually, now that I think about it, it is kind of weird that they don't release it. I was gonna get into a whole like speech about like why I think why I understand why they're not doing it. Okay, I will say this. There is a part in the game where the main protagonist, Lucas, spoiler warning, but it's a very minor spoiler. It doesn't really... I haven't even gotten to that part of the game yet. I just know what happens, so I don't know much about it before I say anything else. He apparently gets high on acid, or not acid, but mushrooms. He eats these mushrooms I think they're straight up like drug mushrooms. I don't know the game doesn't call them that though. They can change the name and stuff. Not only that, Yoshi's freaking Island, Super Mario World 2 on the Super Nintendo, does the same kind of thing. Yoshi and Mario get high in that game if they touch these like floating like puffball things. I'm like, so why doesn't this game just get released already? Come on. Plus, there's these transgender type characters that aren't really human. They're their own species in this game. But there's been transgender-like characters in various mainline Nintendo games. Like, look at Mario, look at Zelda. There's a million characters like that. Like, there's Birdo, there's Tingle. Tingle's debatable. But, there's characters on Great Tournament there. There's characters in Majora's Mask like that. Like, I just don't see the problem. Majora's Mask is a very well-made, dark game that got released here in the States, that wasn't changed much, that has very adult topics. Mother 3 is kind of in the same caliber as Majora's Mask in terms of its topics. Why in the hell did Nintendo not release this game by today's standards? What are they doing? And for a fact that Earthbound helped sell Wii U's. I'm sure it did. That was a huge deal when they re-released it on the Wii U. People brought it fucking right up and play the game. I'm sure I was one of those people. Well, I didn't buy a Wii U just for Earthbound, but I bought a Wii U for the first time roughly when it first... It was one of the first things I bought when I bought a Wii U. It was one of the first games I bought because I wanted to play it. I just don't... I'm trying to think of a good reason, but I really can't think of any. It's really stupid. They said that they're afraid of sales, but that can't be true. They just released Mother 1 and 2 on the Switch again in the Nintendo Switch Online. It's on here. Mario 3 Special. There it is. There is Mother 1 right there, North American, Earthbound Beginnings right there. And let me tell you now, Earthbound Beginnings didn't change much for the original game either. Because this is a ROM hack. This is a ROM hack of the original game that's like uncensored. There are some changes, but no. Hopefully my save file is okay. This is actually the Mother 25th Anniversary Edition cartridge that I got. But Yeah, like when it comes to Mother, Nintendo is really weird about it. They're like shutting down fan projects like, you know, Metroid 2 remakes and Zelda and Mario remakes, but then they remake Mother 1 here, they leave it alone. There's a team out there making Mother 4. Mother 4 is a fan-made game that looks incredible. Nintendo is leaving it alone. They consider, there's a point that the Mother 4 team was like, we're going to change the game up. It's going to be a completely new game with the same protagonist, but like it's going to be called something else different, with the same art style, but with different name. But then they said no to that, and they went back to making it as Mother 4. Nintendo was leaving it alone. Isn't that weird? What is Nintendo doing with Earthbound here in America? It's just so confusing to me. I'm really hoping that the Switch will release. I really want GameCube titles. I want GameCube titles released on a modern HD Nintendo machine. I thought for sure Nintendo was going to release GameCube titles on the Wii U. They should have. It's stupid that they didn't, but they should have. I'm hoping it's next on this, but I also would love to see Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games as like one collection, as like one Nintendo Switch Online like category. And when they finally do that, they should put Mother 3 on there. And I think when they release Mother 3 officially to the States, its official title should be called Earthbound Endings. I know that may sound a little bit extreme to some people out there, but if you play through this game and from beginning, middle to end, you might completely understand why I feel that way. Why should it be called Earthbound Endings? Well, a big part of it has to do with the ending of this game. You'll find out. You'll find out when you play it for yourself. But yeah, there's Super Metroid. That's so awesome. There's Earthbound right there, Mother 2, in its big box. That's so cool that they did that. But yeah, like I just don't understand why this is such a problem. I can't think of a good reason. Now that I'm playing the game myself, I still can't fully understand why they won't release it. They can do some work and do some changes, but really the Mother 3, I can guarantee you, Nintendo, if you contacted the Mother 3 translation team to work on this game for free, they would, to like make some more changes so it's like more like region friendly. They absolutely would. Like, or hire them. I don't care. Like, just do whatever it is you can to get this game out there, because you should. What the fuck is going? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Well, anyways. Besides that, you can play these games on the Wii U and Switch, but not Mother 3. So unfortunately, Nintendo, because you guys are you and you have great games from the past, and I want to have my backups, and for my own reasons alone, I did hack my Nintendo machines, and I have games on those that I play, and not my Switch though. My Switch, I'm gonna wait until this thing is not supported anymore, just because it just doesn't feel like the right time or anything like that. I don't know. But like the Wii U and 3DS and the Wii, well, yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Sorry, Nintendo, but you know, to be fair though, every game that I have it legal in some kind of way. So let's just say that, okay. Anyways. Yeah, I think there is, you can play Mother on the Wii as well. Sorry about that, folks. I have two goofy dogs that I don't know what they're barking at. Okay, so as for the Wii here, the Mother games never officially got released on the Wii here in the United States of America, but I don't think they did officially in Japan either, but there is a Mother 1 plus 2 plus 3, Wii, virtual console like software. What's it called? WiiWare. A fan-made WiiWare title called Mother 1 plus 2 plus 3 that you can put on your Wii. And again, funnily enough, Nintendo doesn't go after these people. I don't know. Maybe they don't care if you hack your machines and put Mother on them. I really hope not. Please, Nintendo, leave me alone, because I just want to play your games. Okay, please. I'm sorry. Anyways, with that being said, yeah, like you can download the games on your computer or smartphone or whatever, and I can almost promise you that Nintendo just doesn't care. And it's a little sad, honestly. Maybe because it just isn't as popular as like Mario or Zelda or Metroid, but I don't know if that's the reason or not. I don't get it. Maybe it's not really their franchise, it's more so Shigesato Itoi's, and it's like, I don't know. They own these games. I don't know why they're okay with fans porting them all left and right, making the fourth one on their own and everything, and they're just not going to say anything about it. I'm glad that's fine, but it's just weird. So I don't know, but yeah. And then the last pick, and obviously yes, you know if you have an NES or Super Nintendo, you could buy reproduction cartridges and play them that way too. And that may not be 100% legal either, but you can. It's not a big deal. And of course, one more option is you can play them on your 3DS. And if I can just do. Apparently, it's completely legal for you to. Okay, right there, Earthbound. So, and I believe. Did Earthbound Beginnings get released on the 3DS? I can't remember if I put this on here or it got released officially. I think I put it on there actually. I think it's just Earthbound I did. And yes, of course, Mother 3. But with that being said, I was going to say, this isn't actually my 3DS. I just put these on there for my wife because she wanted to play them too, or my fiance. But anyways, sorry. As I was trying to say, apparently it's legal for you to own a reproduction of like an older video game as long as you supported like a re-release of it of some kind. So, like for example, for Zelda Ocarina of Time, if you bought Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Wii Virtual Console or the Wii U Virtual Console or whatever, and you wanted to buy Ocarina of Time 3D, that's fine too. But you wanted to get out of your way to buy like a reproduction cartridge of the original Nintendo 64 game, that's legal. Apparently, I don't know how true that is. This is a very great thing to talk about. A very great thing to talk about that I think it's not fully fair to like go after people who like pirate Nintendo games entirely, because it's like, as long as you put the money and effort into games that you actually want to put the money and effort into it, what's the big problem? Like, I don't know. It's a very great area, and it's like, okay, well, you put these games on here now, so why can't I just go back to my old consoles that you're not supporting anymore and just do whatever I want, put them on there? That's pretty much okay in today's time anyway, because they're not really supporting the Wii or Wii U anymore. So it's like, I don't know. It's a very touchy subject, like I said. It's not just Nintendo. Like, you know, when it comes to Sega or Microsoft, it's like, or Sony, it's like, yeah, whatever, you know. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, which is another reproduction game, is Mother 1+2 for the Game Boy Advance. I barely played this, touched it, but this is a fan-made English translated version that this should have been released here in the States. Honestly, man, these games should have gotten released here in the States. So weird that they didn't. They should have at least tried. They should have tried to release these games with like new commercials, new advertisements, and I think it would have gone really freaking well if they did that back in 2006 or so. I think that would have been awesome if Nintendo just went out of the way to re-release these games on Game Boy Advance. But I realized each one of these games, the original Mother 1 and 2, got released on their respective hardware at the end of their life cycles. It's so weird to me. Mother 1 got released in 1990, right when the Super Famicom or Super Nintendo came out. Mother 2 got released in 1995 or so, or 1994, 1995, just a year or two later. The Nintendo 64 came out. And Mother 3 came out in 2006. I think the DS was already out at that time. It's like, I just noticed that. It's like, and this game went through a lot of development hell. It went through a lot of development hell. It was supposed to be a Nintendo 64 game. It took them 10 years to make this game. It was ridiculous. So, this game, just for that alone, it should be released here officially. I want to buy this game from you, Nintendo. I know I just want to pirate the games, but I do want to buy this game from them. I do. I want to buy an official release copy of Mother 3. This right here is enough. I'm happy with this. But if you were to tell me that Nintendo was about to put Mother 1, 2, and 3 on one Switch cartridge physically, I would do it. Preferably, I want remakes. I think we all do, but that'd be awesome. Also, remake Zelda 1 and 2 as like one game. That'd be awesome. Do it, Nintendo. Do it. Remake Zelda 1 and 2. Do it. Do it. I think it'd be super sweet. But, yeah. Anyways, with that being said, yeah, I think Mother 1+2. That's right. Mother 1+2 was going to be released here in the States, but it wasn't. I think so. I think they thought about it, but they didn't. I think maybe it was because of how poorly Earthbound sold, Mother 2 sold for the Super Nintendo. Maybe that's why they were like, we're not really going to give away to do this. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea why Nintendo didn't release these games on the Game Boy Advance when they got remade for the Game Boy Advance here in the States. I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't think anybody really does. And of course, my preferred way of playing these games is on this beautiful device right here, the Game Boy player. Yep, for the GameCube. This is another way you can play the Mother games, and it's the way I understand. If you understand Japanese, if you can read and write and speak Japanese and kanji and whatever are, those languages in general, or that language in general, you can 100% get these games legally in their native language, and it should be no problem. Like Nintendo probably won't even care. They don't care when it comes to Earthbound. They just don't. They do, but they don't. It's really weird. So I don't have an answer for that. But guys, that's kind of everything. That's kind of my whole video. It went on for I think an hour. That's good. I feel like there's more. I feel like there's a lot I'm leaving out, but I don't think I am. I think I covered pretty much everything. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And go check out the Mother series. You can play it on your Game Boy Advance, DS, GameCube, Wii. You can play it on your Wii U. You can play it on your Switch if you want to hack it to get Mother 3, which you don't have to, which I don't know if I will do that because I want them to put it on here. Nintendo, do it. Put Mother 3 on the Switch. Do it, please. Please, Nintendo, please. Come on, we all want it to happen. We all want it to happen, guys. Come on now, seriously. So, show some more. I mean, it's wonderful that you put Mother. When I saw Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound getting released on the Switch just last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, I was in tears of joy. Okay, at the beginning of February. It was beginning of February, yeah. I was really happy. I felt really happy that happened. I was saying thank you, Nintendo, like just out loud. And I haven't said thank you to a company in a very long time. I haven't said thank you like Sega or Microsoft or whoever in a very long time. Very long time. I think the last time I was that happy was when Sonic Mania was happening and Shenmue 1 and 2 got re-released. That was a while ago. So this is kind of like that for me all over again. So yeah, I was glad I was thankful Nintendo did it because this is kind of becoming the most sold hardware of all time. This thing is selling really well, slowly but surely, which means that if this becomes Nintendo's most highest selling console of all time, or piece of technology of all time, it's going to be the device that most people will be playing Earthbound on. And that to me is beautiful. Oh yeah, you can also get a Super Nintendo Classic. I forgot about that. It's on there too. Or a Super Famicom Classic. But yeah, that was a big reason why I was so happy about it, was because it's on a high selling console. That is a huge deal. That is a really important deal. That means anybody out there who, and because it's been blowing up as of recent years on the internet, people are really getting on the way talking about the Mother series. I think for sure, shortly, maybe sometime in the near future, the push for Mother 3 might be even stronger. Who knows? It might happen. I don't know if that will make Nintendo do it or not, but yeah, Nintendo, what the fuck? Give us Mother 3. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Nintendo, for all the efforts you have done for Mother recently. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I don't want to sound like that you guys aren't doing enough, but I think you are definitely capable of doing more. I do believe you are. So if there's a chance Mother 1's going to get remade, that's fantastic. If there's a chance that Mother 3, to me, all I really want, a Mother remake would be great. But what I really want, this would be enough. Honestly, this would be enough if this happened. Would be a Switch collection of Mother 1, 2, and 3. And just a physical release of all 3 games ported on there. That's it for the Switch. No graphical upgrades, no major gameplay changes, nothing. You just port the games because they're enough. These games may not look the best graphically, and I know that's like a big turn off to a lot of people out there, but gameplay is most important. And that is a big deal when it comes to these games. And one of the oldest sayings ever is looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving, or like looks are not everything, or don't judge a book by its cover, that kind of stuff. These games are not the graphically best looking games. But who gives a fuck? Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't really matter. They are enough. These games are enough. What they do as stories, as adventures, as journeys are enough. Play them. They don't need remakes. They really don't need them. Maybe more than one does, but the fans are doing it for you, so play the originals if you can. Alright guys, this is Hazuki Warrior 921 signing out. I'm exhausted, I need a break, so thank you for watching my video. Have a good one, take care, remember to say fuzzy pickles when you get your picture taken, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna PK rock myself out of here, so alright then, have a good one, take care. Bye bye guys.